we go. As I said, I'm a high school art teacher. I guess I kind of fell into game design. I've loved games since I was a kid. The Common Core the Common Core is K through 12 stuff, and it's kind of going into the schools now. So what are they? It was led by the Council of Chief State School Officers and a National Governors Association. So this is, entire United States, right? This is kind of what the core is going to be, unifying all science, social studies, English, math, art, all those different classes that you have are going to be unified under this throughout the United States. It builds on the foundation that's already been laid in the specific standards in each of the fields that students study throughout their time in the public schools. Draws on important international models as well as research and input from state departments of education, scholars, assessment developers, professional organizations, kindergarten through college educators, parents and students, and of course the public. And it's been refined. It's refining the stuff that's already been laid out, and in hopes to advance the standards related work. So it's aligned with college and work expectations. So it's going to put a focus on reading, writing, speaking, listening, and using language and math effectively in a variety of content areas. So specific skills and understandings, that students are expected to demonstrate. It's about becoming, it's internationally based, so it's about substantially more focused and coherent in order to improve, our skill set as a country. But I feel that this is something that's gonna help influence, the future of game development. So, it's to address curriculum that's been called mile wide and an inch deep, right? So that we're not teaching to the test. But, one thing that they say these won't do is they're critical to college and career readiness, but they're not the whole thing. And hopefully we as educators can provide that, that extra skill set. So let's see. Yeah. I'm just going to run through these really quickly. I summarized what I found regarding these literacy goals into what future developers will have. Future developers build on others' ideas, articulate their own ideas, and confirm they have been understood. Future developers read purposefully and listen attentively to gain both general knowledge and discipline, self-expertise. Future developers adapt their communication, adjust purpose as warranted by the task, appreciate nuances, and know that different disciplines call for different types of evidence. Future developers are engaged, open-minded, discerning, who work diligently to understand precisely what they read or hear or what they're working on. Future developers use relevant evidence when supporting their own points. Future developers are familiar with the strengths and limitations of various technological tools and mediums and can select and use those best suited for them. And they get the world around them. They get that they have to talk with other people. Not everybody's going to come from Huntington Beach and love to surf and skate, right? So let's move on. These are kind of the areas where so when it comes to reading key ideas and details, I'm going to skip through these because it's just a bunch. These are the summaries of what the standards are, and it's basically been covered by those goals. Now, the mathematics standards, those little breakdowns I showed you for reading and writing, they go into all of these. You'll notice that not all of these are what would be called math classes, right? So these are concepts as opposed to courses. These are things that can be found in other courses and translated. So when it comes to the game education special interest group, we are talking about enhancing the education of future and current gamers, really preparing them for those skills that they need. And this is a resource for game educators. What should be expected of those kids going into the college classroom, and what should be expected of them if they're coming straight from high school into the field. And of course, it's a topic for discussion in the game education community. Can discuss where they see students excelling or lacking in the standards as they enter college or leave for careers. So learning education in games, in what they say that they want to do, they talk about setting guidelines and standards for educational games. Well, this is what we need games in education to do. We need games in educational games to make students more literate, to give them those math skills, and to see them beyond. Well, I went and did my math class, and I went and did my physics class, and there's no connection there. But in reality, there's a huge connection between each and every class. I see the Common Core standards as a renaissance of ideas coming together throughout each class. And this is a way for this is a way to advocate for those to get into those games to get into the classroom. How do you play something that involves students doing? How do you make a game that involves research? I don't know if that's a possibility or not, but it's something I'd like to talk about. In my classroom, teach animation, painting, design craft, which is sculpture and design, as well as I have a game development, art and design after school program. So I'm giving them the traditional arts foundation, familiarizing them with the visual arts vocabulary, skills and techniques. I have the opportunity to introduce them to some Autodesk software, and then I have a student club, and there's other clubs that have kind of sprung up from that. We call ours the Game Development Guild, and there's the Collectible Card Club. And beyond my classroom, we're collaborating with programmers. Trying to, at least. It's I've had trouble actually leaving my classroom, so taking a period off in hopes to get more of that collaboration going. When it comes to what the students have been doing, it's been more along the animation line, because it's gonna, I heard somebody say that, if the, and just in the last few talks, if the industry is doing it in 6 months, a student's probably gonna do it in 2 years. And if we're looking at high school, a kid probably has to start on it in their sophomore year to really pull off something at the level that the industry is doing in 6 months. Yeah, I think, that's as far as I went with that. I meant to be a little bit more well-practiced, but the drive from Hollywood to here is kind of hellish and, and beautiful at the same time. So, yes.
Are there any games that already practice Common Core standards? You've seen it in the classroom that assist students in learning the Common Core better, like SimCity or something like that?
Well, like, my girlfriend's kid loves Minecraft, and you know, it's all about resources and resource management. And I, you know, I'm a little familiar with Sim. I play D&D. You know, that's I use that as my platform for, you know, getting my students to draw, to understand the character, the concept of the character, in the sense of, well, if your character has this big old sword, what is the animation going to look like when they're swinging that sword? How do you draw that character? You know, those sorts of things. As far, yes, okay, I've got 2 minutes. So, as far as the rest of other games, you know, we have game tournaments on a regular basis. They want to play Halo or Modern Warfare, you know, we do a lot of dueling games, especially this last year, since the administrator, after 6 years of me doing, you know, first-person shooters, said, well, we can't have that. They're liabilities. Maybe if we treat it like a movie and we get parent signatures. And so the students love to play those games. I don't know if there's much historical context there. I do hear some, you know, debates on, you know, things that happened throughout World War II when students get into some of those, I can't remember the names of those games, but, you know, the ones that actually revolved around what happened during that time period. So I think that every game has the potential to be used for educational purposes. I actually deliver lesson plans when we have video game tournaments. So I'll talk about character design through Street Fighter. You know what was happening with Street Fighter 2 in the arcade and where is it at now? You know, and so yeah,
Are there any resource sites that address the Common Core adoption?
I meant to
or even any, I mean, I don't know if the IGA SIG has.
I don't know if the SIG has it, but let's see here. I know that in my proposal I had some things that I meant to go into more depth, but
It's a micro.
yeah. I get that, but let's see here. My original plan for 100 words. I liked looking at the commandments of game development education. Yeah, let's see. No, I don't know I don't remember the website I got these from, but if you really want to know what those are, you know, what the core standards are, Common Core, state standards, and, you know, just for the English language arts, we got 66 pages. So that's it for me.
Thank you.
If you'd like to know me, ask for my info.